All right, what's up, everyone? It's Ballietbran. Today we got a interview and just hangout stream with Crypto Bobcat. I'm really looking forward to this stream. Right, there's a lot of hexagons that do technical analysis, fundamental analysis, charting, and just content in general. And I think it's awesome to have such a wide variety of people and different opinions that you can listen to. So thanks everyone for bearing with me. I had the stream scheduled maybe a week and a half ago, and then today when I went to go play it didn't save all the information. So this is the same stream link, and like I said, we'll have a little interview, hang out, and kind of just talk about what Hex is doing, what we like about it, hear a little bit about his story. So yeah, without further ado, I'll do the 88-second intro, and then if anyone has any questions for Crypto Bobcat in the chat, please ask them, and we'll try and cover as many questions as people have, and have a good little hangout. Okay, so without further ado, 88-second break.
Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to like. Be sure to share. Be sure to comment. Yeah. Say hey. Say hey. Motherfucking jackpot. We still jackpot, bitch!
Thank you, Richard, for creating and founding the most amazing and disruptive financial technology cryptocurrency ever. Thank you, sir. And nice streams, Mr. Ballietbran.
Cool. So thank you, everyone, for accommodating the time. I'm going to bring on Crypto Bobcat in just a second. So yeah, I'm not going to be streaming at my normal time today since we're doing this interview right now. We had to accommodate his Russia time and my America time. But I know Wales only. I think he's going to be streaming at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, 8:30 Eastern. And I told him I would join maybe for an hour and a half, something like that. So thanks, everyone, for joining. And without further ado, let's bring on Crypto Bobcat and, hang out.
Chin.
Hey, what's up, man?
Chin. Yeah, hello. Thanks for having this show. I was laughing, really. I never anticipated seeing like Maggie. He was like chin, and it was like, okay, that's gonna be fun. Hello, everybody. Finally revealed my face. Yeah, because all of this.
No, appreciate it.
Yeah, hello, Finn. Yeah, what's the agenda? Guys? Hex is doing incredible growth. Incredible, like shooting the roof. And yeah, amazing. For those who are watching my videos, well, basically, I'm just a casual thing. We're not gonna, go straight to the point. This fractal, this cycle, we might really go to 60 cents. Yo, what up? How you doing today? And yeah, we kind of probably slow down for a while. Basically by watching my video, my previous video, and I'm gonna pull some charts. So relax, guys, take a cup of coffee, you know what you need to do, and let's talk. Chin.
Oh yeah, thanks for joining. Yeah, that intro that was done by one of ours, truly, Joe Hexotic. And
yeah, I know him.
He's got some great work. He also does like really good Photoshop work and like thumbnails. So that's actually a skill I'd really like to get good at, because I know we were talking that you got a thumbnail guy, and anyways, it's definitely something that makes a big difference. I mean, if we look at even like Richard's channel lately, Hexologist, he's been taking the time to volunteer on the thumbnails, and yeah, he's gotten a lot better, like a lot more people watching and a lot more likes just from the thumbnails alone, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, that's what I like in hexagons. They will help you even if you never ask them for a help. Let's just say, because whenever we just go to my thumbnails and my logo, there was a guy and his name is where it was like Heiler Tech or just Healer Tech. Shout out to him if he is watching us. He just said, "Yeah, I just made some thumbnails, some logos, and yeah, just check it out." And I was like, "Yeah, it's cool. It's no matter that there is a line out there on the logo, but it's okay. We're gonna take it." Yeah. What up, Hexagon? Side Any Block is here. What up? What up?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we're just having great time. Any questions? Smart, stupid, very eccentric. Yeah, shoot it.
Hell yeah. Well, cool. I mean, I guess we'll definitely the chat will kind of populate as we talk and stuff. But can you maybe that's awesome that this is the first stream that you're kind of on, doing a little interview style. I know a lot of Hexicans watch you, which is great because I watch you too. Can you maybe, for those of people like myself that don't know, tell people how long ago you got into crypto, how you got into crypto, and then when you heard about Richard or Hex? I'm curious. I've never heard the story.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, I can specify in the Hex journey or just the overall journey. If we take back in 2017, well, I was just a young sales manager. I was looking for basically a new job, and some Moscow guys, they just pulled me in saying if you know about ICOs and other stuff, they were quite popular these days, and they just say they actually got 10, 15 people, and we kind of gathered together, and let's just say there was I don't know, a competition, just who sells the most, and I was the guy who sold the most, and they kind of promoted me just to head of sales in the agency, parabolic career, and everything was nice. And at this point of time, people wanted to decentralize everything, decentralize toilets, decentralize woods, decentralize everything completely, everything decentralized. And at some point in time, with this bubble go, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we get what we get. For now, I don't want to just kind of reveal in what company. I work in the blockchain company. That's what you need just to know. Yeah, I'm not gonna specify the name. There is only one Hexagon knows, I would say, where I'm working. Yeah, he pulled me in. Let's get to the Hex story. My very first time when I heard about the Hex was, as far as I know, December last year. Yeah, 2020. Bobcat has a really good YouTube content. Yeah, thank you very much, Pulse Doge. I'm sorry, I'm a pretty distracted person. I could just read and So let's get back to the topic. It's gonna be fine.
Me too.
And I heard this from Crypto Clover. If you ever heard of this guy, have you? Now he's a YouTuber. He travels around the world. Now he lives in Peru. He used to live in Philippines and other stuff. And he just posted some the very first Hacks conference, which was founded by Matty Allen and all this stuff. And he said this thing has a potential. I didn't put much time into just even to look into Hacks, and then I don't even remember what months was that, May or June. My pal said because I started my channel right in the beginning of the bear market. I was like, this is the time. Everybody was everything was just going up really crazy, 100, 200, 300%. I need just to bring a different look at this and show that it's okay when assets just are constantly going up and never just go to a retracement. But crypto market is not about going up and just increasing your value all the time. And I was looking for a content. I was looking for some good coins. I tried with XRP. I tried with EOS, just making this technical approach, technical analysis. And my pal said, yeah, look at Hex. No, there was a different story. He said, Hex is cool. People locking their funds for 15 years. I was like, for 15 years? Crypto, BTC was created in 2009. It's only 12 years. Yeah. And people are willingly locking their 15 years. I was like, why? And I just get into the hacks, start watching Richard Hart's, and I like him very much because he's telling the truth. He's not about like making you in and outs in the trades. He's not about shoving different stuff like making money in you like any other YouTubers, and that's good. YouTube environment should be better because whenever you get to any technical guy, technical analyst, you see like go to Discord, go to Patreon, go to everything because they initially wanted just to build their channel like this. Here's me. I'm just doing great content. Would you like to know more? Pay for it. No, this is wrong. And this is wrong, by the way. I'm going to explain why. For those people who never ran any channel on YouTube, YouTube pays for an advertisement, like skippable videos and non-skippable videos. It's way better just to collect people and just do something especially for free. And I think that any knowledge, like let's just say, I have so many thoughts. I'm so sorry. I need just to.
Oh no, dude, we'll cover it all, man. Hell yeah, no worries.
It's way better just to provide it to the end user. Let's just say, for example, there is random Mike or random Joe or random John watching me, how I do it, and he was like, "Hey, this guy's good. Maybe I should try it," right? And he started trying this, and he was like, "What if I do this? What if I do that? What if I try just to apply a different approach? Let's just say, just do it differently," right? I'm so sorry. It's a Sunday evening. My English is not so clear.
No, you're good, man.
Yeah, it's fine. So bear with me. It's fine. So the idea is, I really believe in that. So knowledge creates a knowledge, right? And it not a knowledge, but knowledge. Let's just say it's a sequence which never be broken. Like every knowledge creates another knowledge, creates another knowledge, creates another knowledge, right? And it's good. I might give a start to another guy who'll be better than me, who will find a better way to make this analysis. Yeah, thank you very much, GD. It's pretty rarely for a Russian just to have a very great English, but it's fine. Just to give a good start for other guys who can do something better than me, and yeah, give a better utility, I would say. This is all about it. Everybody likes Gerardo. He does great videos, and he's like everybody calls him like a Benjamin Coven of hacks, because there's a Benjamin Coven and everybody knows him. He was like about all this mathematical equation, logarithmic stuff, and yeah, it's kind of mind-bending and mind-blowing at the other hand, but yeah, it's cool because it just gives you another perspective. One technical analysis give you another perspective. For example, you just jump on me, just watch my video, then you get to Crypto Jenkins, then you get to another analyst like Gerardo. Just he also makes his analysis, and you gather this information together, and it just make a decision on what you're gonna do with this, right? Yeah, and it's good. It's good. When I started my channel, I thought about, because I saw like Crypto Face. If you know this guy, by the way, he made a live stream with Richard Hart.
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm sorry. I completely took over the live stream, guys. I'm so sorry for this, but it's gonna be fine.
Oh yeah, no, not at all. I mean, this is kind of like a two-way street. I mean, a lot of people have heard my commentary and story, and similar to kind of Joe Hexotic without the some of all the stories. I like definitely hearing from people in the hacks. I mean, I think you brought up a very good point about Richard and just a lot of the hexicans, that the information that people are normally paying for, or that's behind a paywall, or like Patreon and stuff like that. The information is all out there, and it just takes people to look for it and kind of do their own research and go back and watch some of it. But that's awesome that the first Hex conference that Maddie did was kind of like what helped introduce you into Hex, because I remember seeing Maddie and Joe Hexotic kind of co-streaming together, and then Maddie was like, "Hey, let's do this first online conference. Do you want to join?" And that was when I realized, like, man, this community is really good at like building things and just getting the word of it out, because it is such a great product that it pretty much benefits everyone that touches it, whether it be financially or the community as well. So I think that's awesome that was your first kind of introduction.
Yeah, I agree in that. And you can look at any hacks, especially public one. Let's get back in time and remember the live stream with Cody. Cody, I don't remember his second name. Fund manager or hedge fund manager.
Oh, yep.
You remember exactly. This, right? And there was Funding Dream, JAXA, Wales Only, Cabana Crypto. Yeah, there were all over. Yeah, Richard Hart by himself later on. But I like the way they argue. They never, get it really personal. Like Cody was like, "Oh, BTC Ethereum, like blah 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 other stuff," and they get it really calmly, and then never said like, "Look at this, look at this way, look at this perspective," and he was like, "No, I'm right. I'm a hedge fund. I have like big balls and other stuff." No, and then Richard Hart came into stream say, "Hello, my friend."
I think you're right. It goes to show someone's intellect, and Richard's very good at this. Unless he's attacked personally, he doesn't usually do that as well. But I'm a big fan of like speech and debate in high school, and just hearing two opposing views, opinions, and biases, and then them kind of sharing the information. Funding Jim is saying that was a fun stream. It's true, right?
Funding Jim is here. Yay!
Hell yeah, dude!
Hello there. Yeah.
It really is a financial product, and it's something that a lot of people can relate to because it's the second most popular product at the traditional system. And anyways, I thought that was a great interview and stream. And even though some sides kind of got heated, the guy mentioned to Cabana that hey, he wants to do another stream later, and that he's interested, as opposed to kind of getting maybe a little bit flustered. Maybe he felt like he was being teamed up on, but it's cool that a lot of people are coming around that maybe weren't liking it the first time.
Yeah, that's a big problem. There's a big problem when people. Okay, so questionable mind is the very, very, very important feature for the human being and for society at all. What is this? There's a reality, right? Okay, so let's get back in time. Like 700 years ago, 14th, 15th century, like everybody was thinking that Earth was a flat thing, which was on the whales, like turtles and other stuff, and everybody believed it. And nobody questioned that. Nobody said like, why do we see like shadows going one way here and the 3 hours here? What about the stars and planets on, because we see that, but nobody questioned this. And there were so many people, like, it would just get back into history, like Giordano Bruno, Nicolai Copernic, Fernando Magellan. There were travelers like Christopher Columbus and other stuff. They kind of proved it. They proved, no, it's not working this way. And what happened to them? Everybody knows. Let's just say they died, but they were killed mostly, like perished. And but then within a time, they realized everything, and they say, well, Earth wasn't like a flat thing. It was like a, ellipsoid form, just shape form, let's just say like this. So the same story happened in how does it called? Physics, if I call this right. Yeah, physics.
Yep.
So here's the story. If you ever watched Genius series from National Geographic, there was one series about Albert Einstein. I like it very much. So by some point in time, like precisely to 1905, everybody was thinking that time is absolute. It's not like a variable. It's a constant thing. You can't change it. Another example of questionable mind. He proved that without having any mathematical, figures and numbers and other stuff. He just realized it. He just, imagine this. There was the story like about relativity, principle of relativity. Just a cool thing, guy. Listen.
Yeah.
There was like, he was thinking about this, like is time absolute or not? He was like thinking, just imagine the train track and imagine by that moment of time, the fastest train which you could ever imagine, right? And it's passing by. Just you imagine this, all of you. Now close your eyes and imagine there are two simultaneous lightning bolts strikes the the ground and they're 100 meters apart. If you're in the US, 300 feet apart, roughly.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
When you stand still and you're not moving, these events happen simultaneously. But when you're in the train and you kind of open the door and trying to experience that events, they're not happening. They're not happening simultaneously. There's one lightning bolt strikes the ground and the other one in a second. And he was like, how could two of us, experience, the same thing, not eventually? And he was like, because time is not absolute. And he kind of proved that. And about Albert Einstein, for example, he became popular only in 1915, but he wrote 4 fundamental papers to physics in 1905, like in 10 years. So the same story happens with Richard Hart, with Hex. Yeah, let's not just make any agenda. Let's get right to this. So everybody's thinking that market cap means something. Everybody thinks that market cap limits something, because when Hex will be $100 trillion, it should absorb money somehow. But this is not about it. Market cap only shows the overall value of coins which existed. It doesn't tell you how many people will spend a precise amount of coins by that moment of time, but precise moment of time, right? And for that moment in time, this is very bad, because it was given because other crypto influencers promoted this way. Like, okay, there is a coin, there's market cap, and market cap goes up, and trading volume goes up, but this is not about it. And everybody just, why Hex is doing this and having like less volume trading? What's going to happen if everybody sells it? That's my favorite question. What happened? Like Richard Hart explained it many times, but I didn't get it. How people can't or couldn't understand this. Right. So the same story when everybody sells their houses, or everybody sells their commodities they have, or everybody sells everything they have. It's going to go down. It's going to dip for some. There was a super chat.
I mean, I kind of wanted to wait to bring this up because I definitely agree with your point, right? Whether you mention it be flat Earth or science or physics or any of that, people at the time, the mass, the mainstream, I guess, they had their own thoughts and opinions of what that reality was. And someone like Richard, he always mentions that the biggest thing that he prides himself in is updating his worldview. And so I say that because Paladin YYZ, thank you. He says, that interview ended way too soon. Gary was just warming up when Richard came on. I want the sequel. And it sounds like the sequel should hopefully happen, or at least is in the works. I know that was on Cabana Crypto's channel. And shout out to him, by the way. He does a stream every Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And anyways, that gentleman, the hedge fund guy, he had mentioned that he was familiar with Bitcoin, with Ethereum. And
I'm sorry, I have a question. Who's Gary?
Gary is funding Jim. Yeah, Gary is funding Jim.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Excuse me.
No, not at all.
I didn't know your real name. I'm so sorry for this. I was like, who's Gary?
Yeah, no, it's just funding Jim. Yeah. And you're definitely right. We don't always call them by their names, usually just by the point.
Because you're Ballietbran, I'm a crypto Bobcat, you're a Gerardo, and we have our own secrets.
Right. Yeah. No, but the point is like similar to the hedge fund guy.
Yep.
Where it just kind of seemed like ridiculous what was going on, is kind of how the current crypto like mainstream space seems. You've got the Eric Wall guy and just a handful of these other people that can't seem to wrap their head around the concept of it. But just kind of like facts don't care about your feelings. The Hex price also doesn't. And like you mentioned with the market cap, I really think, and Richard talks about this too, but something like Hex.com could be the first product that makes market cap a vanity metric. And really, I think once that happens, that like you talk about, say like $100 trillion market cap, that's the kind of stuff that I think will shatter people's paradigms and people's worldview and make them realize that, hey, they didn't know everything, and now they need to update their worldview to see why Hex is continuing to go up and some of these other things.
Yeah, it's great because just awesome. Truth is always good. Yeah, Gary is fun. Yeah. Yeah.
So 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 tell me just a little bit more about the story. So you mentioned that someone had introduced you to the
yeah.
Hex conference, and then how long was it from there that you kind of got in?
No,
Because I know
I
you've been
just had a
making
sneak peek on
videos.
the conference in December, and that just my friend from the Grab, and he pulled me in saying like, "You gotta watch this," and yeah, because I I was really interested in the fact that people started putting their funds and locking them up for 15 years because
Right. Okay.
it's kind of questionable to me because I never saw hacks, I never read any of these papers, and they just I was really curious what made them do this, right? Because well, when you're in your mind, you will never put lock any of your funds for 15 years, whatever profits would be. But at some point, people started doing this, and it was like, it's kind of interesting. I start reading this, start watching videos, and then I just get the whole point. I really like the game theory behind the hacks, and just have some theories which I kind of raised, even discussed with Richard Hart, in Telegram. He didn't give me any responses, like direct one, but I'll just say
Mhm.
everybody knows WES, emergency and
Yep.
stake,
Yep.
right? When you look in the contract of hacks, especially in the whale addresses, you can pull it up, just open Otherscan, or you can scroll, not scroll, but just pull the, not the chart, sorry, but the browser place, and get
Mhm.
into Otherscan.org, find the hacks contract, and you'll see that the many of these whales, they have the pretty same pattern which they use. Like they staked for 1 day, they end a stake, and they were dormant all the time. I didn't say this either. This is either good or bad, but I just imagine, what if, let's just say we know that behind the hex there are some, let's just say a group of people who are interested in that hex will go up in time. Okay, so what if they will start double their stake, their partial stakes intentionally, to raise payouts for per T share to make people staking more. Because at some point in time, even hacks, even if we take into account that hacks is going up in price, the more people, this is Cass, it was me who dragged him screaming to hack. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for doing that. Just much appreciated. So the story is, maybe it's super stupid, but think about it. You're just a wild hacks. It's just a number game, and you don't really care about like what would be your back, like 500 million or just 700 million or whatever. But at some point in time, you want to have bigger number, right? Because you won't be able just to spend that much money as an individual. What if you take a little part of this in emergency and stake it? What if other people start doing this to increase payout per T-share, to increase interest in staking for new people? As a result of this, new people will start staking more. As a result of this, they will ease the selling pressure. As a result of this, hex will go up more, and you can continue doing that all the time. And chart will be not up and to the right, but up and to the right forever. And just a genius. Maybe this is just like a joker. Who knows? I just was like, it was pretty strange to me at first glance, because you can just open the chart and we can point some addresses and see what happened there. Because when I saw there, please go ahead.
Oh, I mean, just agreeing with what you're talking about, right? There's got to be some sort of incentivization to get into something, and price is definitely something that people obviously look at, right? They're like, oh, why does this crypto keep climbing? But like you mentioned as well, when it comes to the payout for the stakers, right? The average payout per T-share recently has been, say, just like 5.8 hex. But the point that I'm getting at, that I agree with you, is Yeah, clearly there's an origin address that staked, and same thing with all of the sister addresses that it sent to. But they only staked for the big payday, and then pretty much
Okay.
everything became unstaked after that. And so, like right now, if we go to
What if
it's,
they start
Apex-
doing this? What if they start doing that?
When did they-
Basically they'll put like a 15-year stake, and after one day they kill it.
Yeah.
What's gonna
Yeah,
happen?
they could do. I mean, yeah, they could definitely do it that way too. And to your point, it would definitely make the payout per T-share go up. But like even on apex.win/charts, you can see like currently out of the total hex, 9.8% of it is staked, and then you've got 17.82% of it sacrificed. But even with that 9.8% staked, you can see that the average APY right here, 40.67%. Like that's amazing. And you see the T-share in dollar or the cost of hex pretty much just going up and to the right too. And it's just such a unique mechanism and system that really was designed well, and we see it playing out.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. To new all-time highs. To 60 cents. Yeah.
So tell me and like us, the people that are watching, and shout out to everyone watching. Crypto Bobcat. His information is his Twitter is in the description. So is his YouTube channel. But speaking of YouTube channel, can you maybe like, because I'm not a chartist or anything, can you maybe tell us when you started making like hex videos and then how you got into the charting and stuff like that? Because I really like your commentary and everyone else's too, but I like yours.
Yeah, thank you very much. So the number one mistake, which I'm not like a professional analyst because I have just a very different position as an official guy, but like on my work. But let's just say the very common mistake, which I'm like Trump doing this, like you say it, like, yeah, but this is a very common mistake when you look at analysts, and he's aroused by, for example, hex price. He was like, oh, it's gonna go to dollar, blah blah blah, this stuff. No, especially in discovery phase, whenever basically when you have never seen these prices before, you need just to use the previous pattern which price did in the past.
True.
So for those who are watching me, they know I use 3 different strategies to look at hacks.
Okay.
All of them, they have their own meanings. Let's just say if you just look at alligator plus MACD analysis, also known as McDonald's, because there are some trolls in the Hex Telegram group which says, "Hey, McDonald's analysis, blah blah blah," other stuff. Yeah. So all of this indicator which you see in my videos, they're all free. You can do it at home. Just open this trading view, pull into the chart, and you can see the pretty same picture as I do. But at some point in time, I just realized that there is a specific settings in this indicators. It tells you how many candles you can put into a indicator, and I just realized that when you put putting too much is way better than less. Let's just say alligator indicator was like, I don't really remember what was the stock one, but let's just say MACD like 9, 13, 26. I use 500, like a fast line, 1,000 as a slow line. Probably gonna show this. So
yeah.
I need
to share your screen.
Yeah. Sorry for this. Okay. And we see. Do you see my screen, right?
Yes.
Oh
sir.
my God. Yeah. Yes, sir. So I'm just using that. So you can just Google it, find it in indicators, and you see that the fast length is 500, slow length is 1,000, and signal smoothing is 50. The more data you put in the indicator, the less fake outs you have. Because when you put it like, I don't know, like 25, for example, I'm just open masterclass with all of that stuff. You might see a different signals in hex specifically. Technically, how does it work? There's a signal line and the main one. Signal is the blue one, main is the orange one. And when you read technical papers, they said when it crosses from the top to the bottom, there's a bearish formation. And I need just to use 4-hour chart just to be pretty specific. And when it crosses from the bottom to the top, it's a bullish signal. But I never used this. Instead of using that, I found some anomalies, specific one, which you see when the signal line is basically going pretty close to the main one, but instead of crossing this, it bounced from it like a trampoline, like going up. It tended to cross, or just had some intention to cross, but instead of doing that, it just bumps from it, and that's what I called. I don't know. I just maybe created the term, but there was a term convergence, but let's just say convergence. It's where the line goes pretty close to. Let's just pull it to a normal thing, right? Pretty quick, 500,000 and 50. The more data, the less fake outs. Right, and back to 1 hour chart. When you look at hacks specifically, I just need to remove all the profile. You will see the same story here many times. So every time you see that it's going up, then it goes pretty close to it. But instead of crossing to the bottom, because of the price action, it started deviating from the main one, and the price is started to accelerating into an opposite direction. So basically, the indicator shows that another bullish possibility has been created, and you need just to get into this. So there is another one, which I also like, is, where is this? It's pretty rare in the market, but I want to show you this. So the same story happens when the line is under the main one, and as you can see, if you see this, maybe I should do it this way. Yeah, it kind of climbs back to the main one in order to cross it, but instead of crossing it, it just go into an opposite direction again. And it means that there's a specific, let's just say, bearish, not the bearish, but let's just say downward pressure occurred on the chart, and it pressures the whole price to the downside. But this is a pretty specific part. Without even price sacrifice phase, what should happen? When MACD goes down, price should also go down. But instead of going down, what we see with price, it goes up. Price isn't correlated with an indicator which says there is a big buying possibility is brewing, right? And you see that price actually just exploded to the top. I'm sorry, I just need to find the cross. It exploded and then hit 20 cents, right? Like this, something. Because you will never find it anywhere.
Right.
The whole idea, we can talk casual. I can show charts if you want to, what people want.
I guess, we can take maybe a look at the comments in just a second, but maybe, we've seen a handful of other people's analysis.
Analysis. So let me summarize pretty quick. So you need when you do an analysis, even like a new buy or just a person who has never done this before, you need to find similarities, not creating something new which never happened before. So what we can say with Hex price, well, since let's just say May, what it did, support line was here, 250 and 500 line, which is a red and green one. And what happened with Hex price? It bounced from it. 1, 2, 3, 4. There was a sellout. Everybody remembered it. The previous cycle, alligator of 500 was like a support area, a support line just to support the whole formation, right? So, and you use it, and you kind of see that the fractal is working this way, and it happened 8 times. So the question is, why do you think it should happen? But it should work differently.
Right.
With the next iteration. So this is where I use alligator and MACD for some conversion stuff. And I just forgot to do what, just to add some ribbon. You can also find it there, first or third. And I didn't change this at all. It's kind of stock. And what we can say about this indicator specifically. And again, since the beginning of the May, what we saw, right? Fake out. There's a cloud which supports the whole formation. There's a ribbon which supports the whole formation, right? And when we look at the price, what we saw, fake out, bullish recovery, some retests, some fake out, bullish recovery, fake out, bullish recovery. You need just to look at similarities again.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it happens all the time. And specifically, like we just, went into some parabolic formation that we didn't even touch the cloud. We didn't even just drop below the ribbon on 4-hour chart. When we just get back to 1-hour chart, we touched the cloud. Long story short, on 1-hour, on ribbon and cloud, either supports the formation or serve as a resistance area. It either holds or, let's just say, support the price just to go higher. This is the second approach, which I usually use in the videos. The third one, I'm so sorry for this. By the way, if you ever thought what would be like the best time just to buy Hex, let's just say with all these drops so far, it also respects the middle line on the Bollinger Band 500 settings. When we just get back to this, is a length 500. So you see that the price kind of, bumps from it all the time. Like we can even take it here, and it just works this way. And how can you understand that there is a specific parabolic formation? When the price goes above upper band, usually when price in the bullish zone, it kind of sometimes, it either, again, it's pretty simple. It either holds the formation to the downside, like here, when price tried just to go up, but it was holding there, just spiked and went to the downside, or just some correlation, or supported and basically help it just to go higher and higher. Like there, you see it went into parabolic and we barely even touch it. But when we go to another formation here as well, and by looking to our chart, we kind of went above 23, 24 cents to just went back to retest it. And we're way above it. So that's pretty it. And it's simple.
Mm. So how long ago did you start making the YouTube videos on Hex?
May or June, I don't really remember. Probably June.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Questions.
Yeah. Let's do it, man. Yeah, there was so one of the questions before was, do you lift weights?
Me? No.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting in my chair. No, I used to be a professional swimmer back in my day.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. Because
how long ago was
that? 10 years ago.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, as far as like cardio goes, I know swimming is like the one that's got like the least resistance. And even as a young kid, I was always a fan of water. But yeah, dude, swimming is awesome. It's definitely
my style is.
It's definitely like a balance. Breaststroke. Oh, nice, dude. Yeah, it's definitely a balance. Like just like with the markets, one of the guys in the crypto community and Hex, but he goes by Wave 3. And like Wave 3, when it comes to the Elliott wave trading, is like the most explosive and most expansive. And just like when it comes to swimming and stuff like that, or when it comes to markets, if you're not prepared for kind of what can happen, like you mentioned, sometimes those fractals, they can repeat. And what we saw April 2020 was when the Godwill did a market buy of the 10,000 Ethereum. There was a lot of people that didn't have positions, and so. Just like I said with swimming, I think it's cool to be kind of prepared and have that respect of the market, because you never know what's going to happen. And even I'm curious to hear, kind of some pulse chain talk and Hex versus eHex. But I'm curious to see what the market will decide when it comes to eHex and Hex on those big market buys, because we see, obviously, like I said, the Godwill, they're going to get a copy. But it'll just be interesting to see how people play and how people decide, because at the end of the day, it's the market that decides.
I think they will be equal. Why not? Well, imagine what is the difference between Tesla stock and Tesla stock on FTX, like crypto Tesla stock? Yep. They have the same rate, the same price, right? Maybe I don't know what's gonna happen for real. I don't see the difference between by some moment of time, when it starts at zero, and because of the incredible fees in Ethereum blockchain, everybody will be buying it to the additional backs they have with fork. But I didn't see even a fundamental reason for this two assets to be different.
Right.
Yeah.
One of these guys has a funny comment. I've been told this before too, which is kind of funny. But when are you going to do the reveal video and let the Hex community know that you're Richard Hart's son? So I guess there's some of us that look like Richard Hart's son. But hey, speaking of people that are in the community, that's even streaming later today. And I know you had a stream with him, and that was when I was like, man, I'm excited to stream with Crypto Bobcat because he's got a good sense of humor. And anyways, whales only, right? I know
What's
you
up,
had a stream
fam?
with him, and
Hey,
I love
my
it,
man
man.
is here. Yeah, whales only. You have an Echo Pal. You need to relog in.
Classic
kidding.
trolling. No, it's
trolling.
cool, man. We got so many we got the right team, right? You're only as strong as your weakest link, and when it comes to also branching out for people, like say if you need work done, right? We've got people in the community like Markable Thoughts that I've streamed with before, but he does really good intro videos. He did the intro video for Nights of Crypto that we do on Wednesdays, and people like yourself, people like Wales, people like Gerardo, people like Wave 3. We just got all of it, whether it's fundamental, that's kind of more so my game is the fundamental, or people like yourself that just showed us some of the technicals. Can you maybe answer a question that I have? So, you mentioned that kind of the easiest way to predict what's going to happen in the future is by looking at the past, right? And fractals in the past. Where do you think we're going? Because I know you mentioned a video that we might be cooling down a little bit, but can you maybe a quarter analysis? So say by the end of the year, do you have any thoughts of do you think we're still going to keep the momentum?
Yeah, well, until the fractal is working, nothing has changed. We will go up. Right. What I like about Hex is trading volume. It's so mind-bending when you look at the market cap and when you look at the volume. Well, there was a story, and I tweeted about it back in time. In the very beginning, everybody saw it, by the way. Everybody saw the difference between volume and the market cap, and they compared it with other assets like BTC, Ethereum, and blah, 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 other stuff. Their ratio was 1 to 25. So how you get this ratio? You just divide volume and the market cap, and you get the ratio. Other assets have 1 to 25, 1 to 35, 1 to 15, but the Hex had 1 to 1,000. I was like, wow.
Interesting.
This is pretty efficient. This shows you efficiency. By power efficiency, right? Specifically, because when you can move market cap of the asset with, let's just say, another 10, 20 million dollars, it's first of all, of course, thank you very much, Crypto Jim Rat. Just appreciate it very much. It's very good because it matters. Market cap could be anything. Again, 10 trillion, 100 trillion, quadrillion, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Only by power, and let's just say this balance between buying and selling matter at this point, as Richard Hart said. The only buying and selling matter. So why do you invest in any assets? Because of appreciation, because of price. By the way, there's a question. Oh, I love this stream, guys. How do you know let's just say we just divide the fractals on two things. There are tops and the bottoms. How can you describe top and the bottom? How do you know when the tops would be made and the bottoms would be made? There's a specific description. Top is the situation, or situation when majority of the people, just community, let's just say crypto enthusiasts, would like to buy the asset, any asset, let's just say Bitcoin, Cardano, Hex, for example, which is continuously being appreciated within a time. So it means, just to answer this question, does any other options, any other things influence the price? No. Why did people buy Dogecoin? Why did they do that? Because of technology? No. Because of price appreciation. They saw the price appreciated much. The price went from a point. I'm sorry, just Russian voice pops out. That's fine. From 0.0, I don't really remember, less than a penny, just to 5 cents. And there was like they were like, okay, everybody know what Doge is, and they Doge like 20, 30, 40, 70. But just in this is a very common psychological effect. When people want to buy something, when it made 1,000 million X, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wanted to buy Bitcoin when it was like $1. Nobody wanted to buy Bitcoin when it was $10, $100, $1,000, $10,000, $100,000, $1 million. Just telling you about the future. Everybody would find any excuse to not do this because it's so high, it makes no sense to buy it. But when they experience that, when they see, it's like, okay, for Americans, when you go to Nevada and Las Vegas, when you play in the casino, you're on a winning streak. Imagine this, not even just related to crypto thing. You're playing blackjack. You're on a winning streak. 13, 14th wins in a row, right? So what are you going to do? Would you stop on this? No, you would continue doing that until you just lose for the first time. And then what are you going to do? You would like just to play this money back. And then you start putting more and more money. And then in the end of this, you will lose everything. Because that's how it works. That's the psychology the product matters. Let's take it. Cardano. Cardano is my favorite guy. In 2017, they told everybody that they will replace Ethereum. They went up to 1.25 cents on Kraken. And then we experienced that not less than a penny and 0.015. It dropped 99%. Point me at least one person who hated Cardano at this point in time. There were none. 0 people who hated it. People lost so much money. If you invested in Cardano in 2017, like $1,000, in the middle of, let's just say not in the middle, in March 2020, when the COVID crash occurred, you would be having $12 worth Cardano. Mm-hmm. What a great investment it was, and nobody hated this. And answer this question to yourself: why? Well, we see Cardano was doing like new all-time highs to $3 or whatever. They promise, oh, we're gonna put like just DApp, decentralized applications. How many of this they did? Zero. No applications, no decentralized application have been made. And at this point of time, nobody tell that Cardano is a scam, because they have this, let's just say, promises, which they promise and they eventually promise, but they never met these promises. When the product will be ready, and people are buying it. And if you just check my playlist, there is a video which called Hacks Says No Deep Correction. There was a guy with a negative comment. And by the way, guys, I didn't delete any negative comment. Just for your information. I don't know what happens usually, but maybe Cardano is a promise coin. Yes, right, Gary. And people are buying it because these people they're listening to this great Georges and other people who just say Cardano is great, BitBoy, it's gonna be the future. The same story with Ripple, by the way. Yeah, banks will be using it.
Yeah.
What happened?
I definitely have something to say on that. I mean, whether it's Bitcoin with the promise of Lightning Network and cheaper fees, whether it's Ethereum with 2.0 since 2017, like you mentioned, Cardano, ADA, XRP. The point is Richard had kind of shown a little clip that was like, instead of actually completing the product, this is like a TV show clip, Silicon Valley, but instead of actually completing the product, let's not complete it and let's keep giving them promises. And that way they're always wanting something, right? It's not completely developed yet. So you're pretty much like, you're pretty much getting their hopes up. And so the thing that I love so much about Hex, I mean, it's just so much different than all of the crypto market in general. But when you take the fact that it is complete, right? There was no future promises that certain things were going to happen. It just launched complete in general. And I think it's interesting. I mean, you look at the different founders, and a lot of these founders that do have those promise coins, and I mean, even Charlie Lee in Litecoin, right? I was a big Litecoiner in 2017, and he had promised confidential transactions, all these other things. And then you see what the action is, and then what the person actually, or you see what the claim is, and then what the actual action is. And the point is Hex is really separating itself from all of cryptocurrency as a whole, that it really is a product.
Yeah, absolutely. If you just compare Hex community and other, let's just say rest communities, the very shining example, there was a poll which was created in the Twitter by Hex Bull Run account, and he was asking who was your favorite TA guy. There was me, Wells Only, Gerardo, and Mitch Ray. And you can see the difference when you get to the Hexicans. They say, like, I like all of them, like, blah, blah, blah. No hate, but when other guys just, came into the room, they say, who are these people? Like, Mitch Ray is the best. You see the attitude. You see this difference in attitude towards each other. When you get to Hexicans, it's just a different world. You don't have, you would rarely find a guy, which is a girl, who would be envy or jealous to other guy. There is no incentive to that. Everybody get the idea. Everybody understands that you can have your piece of pie there, right? And you can build your own, let's just say, valuable back. And yeah, if we just get back to the volume, it's crazy. There was a story. I just wanted to tell you the story. When the price was at 5-6 cents, approximately, I thought, wow, ratio was cool. And I think that it will continue. Well, the volume will continue raising if the price will continue to go up. And when price basically hit 15 cents, the volume was 40 cents. For now, it looks like 100 million because there was a spike and big, huge, spike in the volume, but it will settle down to 40 cents. And then just witnessed 10 cents, the volume's still here, 40 million. 15 cents, volume still here, 40 million. It didn't change. And I was like, what's the catch? And it's design. It's how it's designed. It's about like buy power and all of this stuff. Some people staking, whilst they're not rug pulling everybody, and price appreciation is, everybody likes it. And at some point in time, we will see these people who will be entering Hex and buying Hex because it appreciates much. And when they buy the big bulk, when Hex will be doing the craziest returns. I'm not going to say the number because I don't know. Dollar, yeah, I think so. We're pretty close. We used to be at 1 penny when everybody was thinking, wow, we need just to make 100x just to get there. For now, it's a question of one complete fractal just to get there. For example, if we know just for Hex, it takes like 2 weeks of uprising fractal and 3-4 weeks of correlation. We can eyeball this that the dollar will be hit in 2-3 months. But not financial advice, because people say, hey, let's get into Hex.
It's just your opinion. Well, like even when you mention the volume, there's just been, as someone that's been here like since the beginning, and even before it actually being launched, there's just been so much like misinformation, disinformation, and like FUD, right? Fear, uncertainty, and doubt when it comes to Hex. And now you see that it's top 3 market cap. And so I wanted to share the screen because obviously nomics.com is great. But when it comes to the volume that you mentioned, I mean, Nomics has the most transparent data, right? They just pull the direct data off of Etherscan, off of the blockchain itself, which is cool with Hex, right? Because all of the information's transparent and whatnot. But what I wanted to get at is because all of our volume, for the most part, is on, say, DEXs like Uniswap. You can verify that yourself, and you can just see right here that 90% transparent volume as opposed to say 33 with Bitcoin or 28 with Ethereum. And so those are definitely some metrics that people look at.
Yeah, absolutely. Because exchanges, well, if I would be happy if Hex wouldn't be at any big centralized exchange, because it would mess it up. Because centralized exchange worked in a very different way. They are ready to raise their own volumes to basically sell their fees. And when you look at Bitcoin, you'll never get to the bottom of this. What was the volume like yesterday? You see, like, oh, like that many billions, but is it real? Yeah, you can say wash trading or any other stuff. They actually gather gather all of this information from their APIs and put it in one number. Even with their system, they will never get to the bottom of this. And we never, well, let's eyeball it. Let's just imagine how many billions could people trade, because especially in the crypto market, all of these ups and downs, they were made by people, by normal investors, not with whales. Whales just maybe gave it a start, like printed some tether just to kick the market to the top side. If we talk about institutionals, they never, well, what they do, you think that they go to Binance and buy it from the order book? No, they go to ODC and buy it there, or just any other way. Because even in the thickest order book, just to fill like another 50 million or just 100 million, it will take eternity just to fill the limit order, right? You need just to, if you try just to buy it for a market, you will constantly or immediately pump the price for another like 60% with Bitcoin. What's the point of this? If we will never see Hex at Binance, I'd be happy. We don't need Binance. Hex doesn't need Binance. Hex doesn't need KuCoin. It might be there might be some need in Binance or KuCoin only just to get some awareness, right? To get some respect from these guys, but they will never get this respect. They will never give this respect to Hex, because it's been based on lies. It's been based on taking money out of other pockets, and you get the idea. What's the best resources to learn charting? That's a hard question, because I was like a self-taught. I was watching other YouTubers. I was watching some charts. I just looked into thousands of indicators and just used many variations of this and just get to some point. Made my research, I would say. Second Domino, good day to all your sexy hexagons.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How do you like Hex compared to some of the other communities? I know you had seen the conference, right? The first online conference that Natty did.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be an annual thing. But did it ever strike you when you first heard about it? And thankfully your friend kind of kept telling you about it. But did it ever strike you that Hex was different when you saw the community?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, people were very nice. And it's good. I like when people are nice to each other. When you get to another BitBoy, just open any BitBoy common live stream. You'll get the whole idea. You just need 5-10 minutes just to get to the bottom of this.
Right.
Right.
Well,
and
you make a good point about Mitch Ray and some of the other different hexagons and chartists.
Yeah.
In Hex, there's so much abundance, and even if someone has, say, one preference over the other, we still build everyone up as opposed to, tearing someone down so you can make yourself look like you're taller, and that's the true free market. And even with what Hex is doing when it comes to all the other cryptos, we don't even need to, sure, you can educate people, but we don't even need to bang on the other cryptos very much. We can kind of just educate them that hey, this is why Hex is different and this is why it's going up. So I think it's cool that you mentioned that little poll, that had all the different Hex chartists.
That was the greatest example which I could provide at some point, because it shows everything itself.
Do you have any thoughts, or not recommendations, but opinions that you might tell someone that's just getting into hex or just on the fence, like with your experience kind of coming in early to midway? Do you have any ideas on what people can listen to or do, things like that, to help them?
Yes, two advices. Don't buy hex when it just took off and just shooting to the sky. It's in my point, it's wrong, because when hex is doing like 36, 35, corrections will be there. Be patient. At some point in time, when hex will go like even to 40 cents, it will get back down to support lines, which I showed before on the live stream. Why? Because it did. Why shouldn't it do that? You think that hex will go to $1? This is a very common psychological effect. It's called FOMO.
Yeah.
And that's where the top usually, I'm not talking about precisely to hex, but in the common, crypto market, people think, let's get back to this. People think that the pattern which they used to experience will be continuously going forward in future. So for example, when you see Dogecoin was doing 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%, day by day, you're kind of programming yourself to this pattern. And what people are looking for the fastest, the asset which accelerates pretty fast, and their value just go 2x, 4x, 8x within the very short period of time. And that's why I'm telling you, by some moment in time, there'll be more people who will start investing in hex without looking at it, because it depreciates quick. And that's where some local top would be made, because some other people who have big bags, they would sell it. Why shouldn't they hold it? They might sell a little part of this, but there'll be more and more people, and it's kind of will be bigger and bigger because of everybody wants to fix some profits at some point in time. Speculators, I would say. So you can't get rid of them. That's why we have dips. If we won't have any sort of speculators, we would never experience the dips. Price will go up like one green candle, never ever, go down.
No, you mentioned, yeah, I agree, right? And dips are an opportunity, like you mentioned, instead of say buying the most recent high, maybe seeing if there is a pullback. I mean, yesterday, for example, I'm looking at TradingView right now, but anyways, one of the candles was up to 36 cents, and then the next one dropped all the way down to 30, and that was when someone had sold like a couple million dollars worth. So I definitely agree with what you're saying, and the cool thing about hex is it does really have that supply and demand scarcity within itself. Like, sure, some people want to sell right now, some people have realized amazing gains, that's cool, but not everyone necessarily is selling at the same time. And so you do kind of have, like you say, those dips and whatnot, but they tend to happen not all at once. So you kind of have a dip, and then it gets bought back up, and then continue going back up. So everyone can kind of sell at different times is what I like.
Yeah. And there was a second advice. Buy when everybody starts saying that hex won't go anywhere, just going way lower than the current price. There's a donation. You can read it. As a mechanic.
Not to distract. But
no, it's fine.
Hex, if your engine.
So, because I also witnessed some of this back in time when hex was at 11 cents or it dropped 2-3 times because some people, I don't know, whale or just other guys sold it massively, and there was no buy power, and people start saying we can't go any higher. But this is the best time. You need just to pick up the asset when nobody wants it, and that's where the bottom. And again, back to the tops and the bottoms. Tops, when the majority of the people buy the asset because it depreciates much continuously. Bottom is the time when majority of the people would like to get rid of the asset because it depreciates continuously. And you kind of afraid of losing your value because you experience asset going down in time. You want to get rid of this and get into something. That's where the bottom occurred usually.
I agree, man. I can speak from firsthand experience because when we had the dip of Ethereum, when Ethereum had its last market cycle, it went down to like I think $80 to $130 was like the prime buying that you know, a lot of people I know did. But the point is I had seen a lot of sentiment on Twitter and Reddit that Ethereum's at $80 right now. Ethereum's going to go back down to 2. And it's like, I don't see it dropping down that low. It's already dropped down so much. And so you're definitely right that was the opportunity when that's why they use that term buy when there's blood on the streets, right? When everyone is fearful, you can kind of be greedy and realize that they might have over leveraged themselves or they might not have a good time frame. But if you have those things, you can take advantage of that and get, a discount.
Yeah, absolutely. So by the way, about this situation with the $2 Ethereum, it's the same manipulation when people lead you to 100,000 Bitcoin. Yeah. At some point in time, when you see that there is a redistribution phase starting, especially with Bitcoin, they start saying Bitcoin is going to go to 100,000. Don't leave it. Dogecoin, Mark Cuban saying Doge will be $1 and kind of stable coin. What? Did you hear yourself? What you just said? What you just said? I mean, and people just because this is pretty a very great psychological effect. It imagine like put yourself back in March, April this year, right? When everything was skyrocketing. This is the feeling what people get used to bull market so much. Yeah. So they started thinking that every kick, every bounce, every drop will be bought back.
Yeah, that's true.
And they just pull their money in. And the same story will happen with Bitcoin for now. So by the way, there's another story or just like question. Everybody knows that Richard Hart he's calling tops and let's just say tops perfectly. Would you like to know how he did it with the current one?
Please do. Here, I'll let you do. I'll let you entertain the chat for just a second. I'm just going to go fill up my water real quick. Let me have you entertain the chat for like just a second, and I'll be back in like just a minute. If that's cool with you.
It's okay. Should I explain it or just should I wait for you?
Yeah, no, explain it. Yeah, definitely explain it. Like I said, I'll be back in just like 1 minute. But definitely explain it, and I'll be back in just a second here.
Yeah, we're going to take it over, guys. We're going to take it over. So I like being single in the show. No, it's going to be fine. I didn't see any comments. I didn't even open any sort of YouTube. But the story is, how he knew that the top would be at 65 or just so. Let's just say he took the previous fractal, right? He knew that BTC tapped out when there was a huge event coming on the market. Last time it was CME futures or something. And after this event, market went down. And he started guessing what will be the next one. And the next one was Coinbase IPO. After Coinbase IPO, market went down. And he just took the same 27 or I didn't remember how many days. And just laid on a chart and say Ethereum will be topped out in 27 days. So it happened. That's pretty easy. And because he explains it, that Bitcoin, the whole cryptocurrency market, is the same reflexive system. It works like it does some 100x and goes 85, 90% down. I'm going to read some of your comments from the chart to sort of this. There was a question from George. What do you think about Pulse Chain? Can it go the same chart as Hex? It depends on the market. It depends on how, probably utility and community as well, because everything was done by Hex, specifically Hex price was done by people. Dangerously Stupid is here. Yeah. This was the favorite one. Crypto Bobcat is here. I'm just reading some questions from the chat, and Low rate free. Yeah, we can do this because it looks pretty polite. I'm just reading in the phone.
Well, you can also, I don't know if you can see it on your end of StreamYard, but there should be, we're in the same little room, but there should be like a comment section towards the right. And you should be able to see all of, yeah. That way you can see it all. Yeah.
Okay, guys, so sorry. I never knew this, but okay. Great. I am so anxious. Why? Why stop at $5? Who said that we should stop at $5? Hacks will continue to rise all the way until the snapshot $5 could happen. No, I don't think so. There's a very, very, let's just say, there's a paradox that people are usually they underestimate the future because they never experience something that occurs or just happening for now. We're talking about hacks, or overestimate it by looking at the past related to other market cap, because Bitcoin was going up one number, making X, then other number, and this number is getting less and less. So make a prediction price 1 year from now for Hex, bro. You won't find any person who can do this, because imagine that we will continue doing this fractal over and over and over again. Let's summarize it. Let's even take it very, very conservatively. You need 2 months to cycle the whole fractal, and every fractal price goes 2-3x. So you need to do the same 2-3x all the time. So for now it's 35 cents, then 70 cents, then in 2 months 1.4, then like $3, then higher and higher. But this is wrong. Until now it's working this way, but when we go up, trading volume and buying power and selling pressure would be way different, and it might be changed any second. I would be happy if it continues doing what it did before, but who knows? And I would advise you not to do this, because you set yourself up for this number. You calm yourself by putting yourself like at $3, for example, per hex, because you need a goal just to get there. For example, it's wrong. Relax, chill out, and just enjoy the time, right?
Cool, man.
Hex popping.
Well, cool. Yeah. I think we're actually gonna probably end it right around here. We'll call this good for the first stream. I actually got to do a little bit of cleaning and stuff like that before joining Whales Only stream. But yeah, dude, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story, and also the work that you do as well, right? Because the more the merrier, and especially being able to join the stream. Definitely we'll have to do it another time if you ever want, and then maybe we can kind of like go specifically to the questions that people are having now that we have more of an introduction, and kind of just go from there.
Yeah, sure. Crypto.app said Crypto Bobcat doesn't understand supply and demand. Yes, I don't understand this. It's gonna be fun. I like these people. Smash me, crush me.
Yeah, no, it's that's definitely one of the things.
It's gonna be fun. Yeah, I don't understand anything. I'm just here to entertain everybody. Yeah, thanks for having me in the show. It was a great time. I wish we would have more time just to share some thoughts, but it should be like 1 hour, just 1.5 hours, to not let's just say overload people with information, because usually after me, people were like, what happened?
No, dude. We'll definitely do that. I mean, yeah, now that we kind of have a good feeling for the schedule and the timing, we'll definitely get another one on the books, and have it pretty much just be a Q&A the whole time, and just try and provide as much value to the chat.
Yeah, sure. Thanks again. See you on another video, guys.
Awesome.
Farewell.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Okay, so yeah, everyone, Crypto Bobcat, his information is in the description. I did check the YouTube link. It wasn't working for a second, but then now it is. So it's got his YouTube channel and his Twitter. Go follow him on Twitter. Go subscribe to him on YouTube. And yeah, thanks to the chat for asking all the questions. I know we weren't able to address everything because sometimes it's either interrupt the person and address the question, or let the person finish talking and kind of just go with the conversation. So this evening at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, Wales, he's going to be doing his stream. And I told him I would join him, and shout out to him for inviting me. That's another gentleman that I love to chat with, and similar to Crypto Bobcat, has a lot of experience. So yeah, without further ado, I got to do some cooking and cleaning around here, and I'll see everyone at 5:30 on Wales Only's channel. Okay, thank you.